My name is Michelle Kim, and I'm a student activist for the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer communities. Today, I offer you my perspective, a perspective grounded in several spheres of identity. While I recognize the importance and urgency of transnational LGBTQ activisms in addressing human rights violations across the globe, I would like to ask for your understanding of my unique position as a grassroots youth organizer specializing in domestic queer youth issues. Therefore, my emphasis is on empowering queer youth in the United States who face many challenges themselves. As an immigrant queer woman of color living in the United States, I've been able to explore the intricate relationships among race, gender, sexual orientation, class, and citizenship. An intersectional examination of one's position in the world recognizes the privileges and oppressions of each aspect of one's identity, while revealing the fact that there are multiple dimensions to personhood. All too often, these intersectionalities go invisible in mainstream society and are overshadowed by gross generalizations of each identity, which pressure us to conform to normative roles constructed by society through media representation, politicized agendas, academic discourse, and social institutions. Perceptions of the popular mainstream gay agenda erase the multiplicity and identities and experiences of the LGBTQ community. While I would never trivialize the significance of issues such as marriage equality and the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, it is crucial to remember the folks whose needs are left behind these popular movements. They are the approximately 500,000 Ugandans who face criminalization and incarceration because of their sexual orientation. Women who are raped annually in South Africa under the mission of corrective rape, which aims to turn queer women straight. They are the hundreds of gay and lesbian Iranians who seek asylum in order to escape torture and death. They are the thousands of transgender individuals who are targets of violent hate crimes. They are the 40% of homeless youth in the United States who identify as queer. They are Tyler Clementi, Seth Walsh, Raymond Chase, and 300 other LGBT teens, many of them youth of color, who took their lives away in the past year in the United States. Behind these underestimations exists immense amount of suffering and terrorizing silence that must be challenged by the global community. Many of the at-risk queer youth I've worked with embody these painful statistics. Through grassroots organizing, I, a queer youth of color myself, aim to create safe and inclusive spaces for these youth while providing them with tools and resources to empower themselves and those around them. During a queer youth project I led, 15-year-old Tiffany shared her daily struggle of being bullied at school for being queer and not having a supportive family. 16-year-old Nelly told me that he has attempted suicide multiple times because of the challenges he faces being a queer youth of color without a sense of belonging. At the second annual Queer Youth Leadership Camp, youth like Tiffany and Nelly gathered to create a community of their own and to be each other's hope and inspiration. Tiffany now leads a Gay Straight Alliance at her high school, working to create a safer campus climate, while Nelly found the courage to bring his crush to prom. They are developing a voice with which they advocate for themselves and others, support and empower their communities, and most importantly, love one another. We as members of today's global society must mobilize to create spaces and communities like the one Tiffany and Nelly have found that are safe and inclusive for all people. Local, national, international, and furthermore, transnational spaces, communities that go beyond national boundaries must be formed to facilitate dialogues and to challenge the various systemic and institutional injustices that threaten our human rights to safety, dignity, and life. I conclude my speech with the utmost respect for your continued commitment to fighting these injustices. In solidarity, thank you very much.